I'll ask you a question because I'm going to try and edit myself out. If you can put my question into your answer, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So I don't have to include my horrible voice.
Okay.
Sound good? Okay. So what's your name and what's your business?
So my name is Helen Neale, and I run KiddyCharts.com, which is a parenting tools and advice website for those who have children sort of under 8-9 years old. The website actually provides articles about specific parenting challenges, so anything from potty training to fussy eating, as well as reviews and giveaways relevant to the market, and most importantly our unique personalised charts, which are a bit like Moonpig but for charts. So you can put photographs in specific themed backgrounds, and things like reward charts and 5-a-day charts for parents, that kind of thing.
And when did you start your business and how many people work for you?
I started in May 2011. It was really something that I wanted to do for quite a while before that. And the idea was that it would fit in around having 2 small children. I was a business analyst before, and the travel and the long hours, weekend working, it really didn't fit, and I didn't feel that I was giving either the best to my job or the best to my children. And so this idea was in my head, and then I suddenly decided, well, let's see how much it costs, and I've never looked back really. I've been going since then. In terms of the social media side, which I also do alongside of that, that's really grown out of my sort of prowess in terms of building up the KiddyCharts.com business within social media, and that's really been going for probably about 6 to 9 months. So I really started that beginning of this year.
Brilliant. Okay, and what new and digital technology do you use at the moment then?
Well, the technology that I use within the business, it's really all about technology, my business. So for starters, KiddyCharts.com wouldn't have existed without an awful lot of hard work around developing a website and building the tools that allow us to create those charts. But the other thing is it would never have stayed as a business, a viable business, without the use of social media. I simply couldn't afford a marketing budget because I put most of that into developing the site. So a good free way of developing the social media side when I first started out was, the marketing side when I first started out was developing a social media strategy. And that allowed me to push the name out about KiddyCharts.com and get people to understand what we were all about and learn about us, but without spending a fortune on marketing. And from that, I've then developed the focus on doing social medias for others, and I have a number of clients that I do social media for now. Or I will help them with their social media using the social media profile that I have within KiddyCharts.com as well. In addition to that, because I work from home, I use a lot of technology to make sure that I'm always connected. And I often work in what I call my Coffice, which is the office in a coffee shop. Doesn't matter where the coffee shop is, if it's got free Wi-Fi or I've got my iPhone with me, then I can do my work. And I find that is absolutely valuable for getting headspace away from my home desk. I do a lot of creative work, and if I want to think about what I need to do for a client, or if I need to write a particular article, then I really need to get away from things like the washing or the fact that it's messy, and actually going to a coffee shop, having tea on tap or coffee on tap, and cake is quite helpful. And I find that really, really invaluable, and the technology that there is in city centres like Cambridge can be really, really helpful for that kind of thing.
Okay, and when you work flexibly, what kind of equipment or service do you need to be able to enable you to do that?
First of all, I'm a bit of an Apple girl, so the technology that I use within my work is unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your view, very focused on Apple devices. I have an iPhone, an iPad and an iMac, And because of the connectivity that Apple have, that means that I can upload photographs between all of the three using the cloud and really just move documents around, and I can work on one thing and it can suddenly be, accessible on my iPhone. And I use applications like Dropbox as well to share work with some of the people that I employ on a freelance basis. And that makes it so much easier to actually work remotely with people. I also use things like Skype, which I found invaluable in communicating with people in different time zones. So maybe using those in the evening. And email is particularly important as well. So the technology, aside from Wi-Fi, has been absolutely crucial in getting where I am now. If I didn't have any technology, I wouldn't have a business, and B, it wouldn't have been as successful.
What do you say to women who may be thinking about starting their own business, and what would you encourage them to do?
Do a lot of research, and you can use technology for that. Look on the internet, there's a lot of free resources out there that would really, really help you. If you're starting your own business, you need to understand what your competitors are doing, what sets you apart, how you're going to actually manage that business physically in terms of the resources that you're going to either buy in or you're going to do yourself, and what the investments you are willing to make within that business is, both in terms of money and in terms of time. People always think about how much money you need to set up a business, but you also need to think, if you're a woman who's setting up a business but you've also got children, or perhaps you're doing it aside and you also have a full-time job, you need to see really how much time I can dedicate to this as well. That's really, really important too.
Excellent. And what would you, sorry for this shameful plug, what would you say to women about using the Women in Broadband resource pack?
Absolutely. Get as much free advice and information as you possibly can. Access to broadband for me has been critical in developing my business. If I didn't have it, I couldn't do it. It's as simple as that. Don't be frightened of finding out about these new technologies, because, yes, they may be daunting, but once you've got your head around it, they can really be a valuable asset to your business. I didn't know anything about any of the technologies before I started in May 2001. I didn't understand what a WordPress blog was. I'd never even heard of Pinterest. And now I understand so much more about Pinterest, and I'm working with Pinterest UK. And that's all because I've taught myself.
Brilliant. Okay, I think that's perfect. Thank you very much for that.
I do feel like I was repeating myself, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, that's fine. Don't worry.
At least it means I'm consistent.
Yeah.